welcome to Tyler Is Groce, my podcast. It's been about 8 months since the last episode. I don't know if anyone's paying attention, and some part of me thinks you're not, but that's okay. This is why we're doing this, to get you to care. Welcome. It's May now. I think last time I did this must have been October or something. It's been a minute. It's been a long 8 months. I started up this podcast to do this with people, and then I was like, nah, I can't do that shit. It was just too much. It was too much all at once. I had just moved. I had just started a job. I had too much shit going on. I needed to calm down. I needed to relax. My hair is longer now. I think I have new glasses. He's pretty good. I got some new clothes, but this is an old shirt. I don't know if you know. Also bought a whole new camera setup. I bought a camera. I bought a directional microphone, but I'm using this one, so it's fine. I bought a whole bunch of shit because I got a raise in my job, and I'm rolling in it now. Relatively. I still got a fucking normal job, but more than I was ever making before, so I had enough to drop on a camera. And it's been good. It's been a good 8 months. Learned a lot, loved a lot. You know me. I gotten fat. Gotten real fat. Not actually, but I can tell. It's one of those ones where I can tell. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, you piece of shit. And then I talk to anyone else and they're like, you piece of shit. Because why? Because when thin guys gain a tiny bit amount of weight, no one likes it. Everyone's mad at it. But I'm laying on the couch, and then there's a hangy part. That kind of lays. I'm not alone anymore. I lay on the couch and my stomach sort of lays with me, and that's new. I'm not used to that. I used to be very thin. I'm looking at old pictures of myself and being like, look how thin I was. That's aging. That's what that is. That's just, I'm an aging man. I can see it in my face. I started using a serum on my skin, vitamin C, to keep me looking young. I always thought I was going to be one that embraces death. I'm like, death is a part of life. It's a beautiful thing. It's a sad thing, but it's a beautiful thing. You're born, you live, you die. It's like a perfect story. It'd be weird to live and live and live and live. My favorite part of, Uncut Gems was when he died at the end. Spoiler. Because the movie was over, and it was like, yeah, that makes sense for this story. But now I just want to turn it all around. Now I just want to stay young and vibrant, but instead I'm fat and old and wrinkly, almost 30. I'm pretty much dead. But what are you gonna do? You just gotta keep it moving. And then I don't even know. I have my money now, so I ordered a thing off of Amazon. That was really fun. Oh, I wear nail polish now too. You see that? I'm Gen Z now. I was a millennial for my whole life, but now I'm like nail polish and anti-fat phobia. Gen Z. I know nothing about Gen Zs. I just know they like TikTok. I really don't know anything about it, but I'm wearing nail polish now. My girl likes it, and I like it too. What do you want me to say? I ain't no bitch. All right, I just wear nail polish. My girl, she assures me that it's mainstream now. She assures me that nail polish is like everyone's doing. I see Pete Davidson and Pete Davidson. They both like she says everyone does it. I only see Pete Davidson and then Lakeith Stanfield on Atlanta. That character. That's the only people I see. But I'll be rocking it. And I get compliments. I get compliments from girls. And isn't that who it's all for? Why am I wearing a shirt for dudes to be like, nice, bro? I'm looking for the girls to give me the compliments. To be like, nice nail polish. They say, where do you go? And I was like, girl, I went here. And they're like, oh my God, you should fuck me. And I think I will. Like, that's the way in. A little bit of nail polish. A little bit of fucking. Tyler Is Groce. So I'm doing that now. I'm fat because my girl wants me to wear nail polish, and I do too. And she also cooks. She cooks because that's what I tell her. No, she just likes it. She just likes to cook. And she, like the other day, it was like a Saturday or something. Lazy, like we had nothing going on. Lazy Saturday. I go over to her house. And she's just like, hey, I'm just going to whip up a lasagna and cheesecake real quick. And then she just made a whole lasagna and a whole cheesecake. And she's like, here you go. And I'm like, it's Saturday. It's like 3 p.m. And she gave me restaurant quality meals. I'm talking, this lasagna was the best shit I ever had. My mom makes lasagna. That's one of her meals. And I had to call her up and be like, hey, you lost, man. I had to tell my mom. I was like, you can't cook. And she can. And she loved me more than you. And she bakes better too. She made this Oreo cheesecake. And this is the part that sucks. At the end of it, she cooks it all. I eat my fill. I'm like, I can't eat another bite. There's, I'm one man. There's still a whole cheesecake left. And she's like, I made it for you. You can have the whole thing. And I'm like, this is why I'm fat. This is why I'm getting the skinny guy pudge. This is why I'm looking and I can move and it jiggles. It's because of her. Because that's what love does. It makes you fat, man. Makes you fat and ugly and gross. And the love tricks them. It tricks them into being like, no, you still look good to me, baby. It's like, no, I don't. Okay, I can show you pictures of me from, 3 years ago. Not even any amount of time. 3 years ago, that was my prime. I was in Amsterdam. I was skinny and hot. My dreads were just forming. My dreads are better now, but back then, what are you gonna do? But I got more money. I order stuff on Amazon now. Packages constantly coming left and right. It's really fun. Now I get it. I get why people, I get why you get a little taste of money. And again, it's not that much money. Why am I talking about my money? It's just I've been so poor for so long. That's the thing. I've pretty much lived paycheck to paycheck forever. And then I went to Amsterdam and had a job. And I was like, oh, I can actually save something. And then I came back and I drove Uber Eats for a year. And I was like, back to paycheck to paycheck. And then I got this job. And now I'm like, oh, I can order a bidet. I can get some speakers. I feel staunchly middle class now, and it feels good. And I just ordered a cable. This is how much I have enough money to order stuff on Amazon, but not enough to own my own Prime account. I use my friends. That's where I'm at. That's the sweet spot. I'm sharing premium access, but I still got it, bitch. That's where I'm at. So I ordered a cord off of Amazon, and it got here so quick, and it was so cheap. It was like $16, and it was I got a new MacBook. It's an old MacBook, but it's got the new plugs in it, so I had to get an adapter, and they came so quick. It was pretty cheap, has all the plugs in it, and I was just like, man, I get it. I get why Amazon's so much. Bezos is so rich. That's why he makes those people piss in bags for this quality product. That's why he puts them through these atrocious, horrible conditions. Terrible. They're standing there, they're shitting in bags, they're pissing in cups, they slip, fall, they get piss and shit all over them, and then they seal the package, and then I get it so quick, though. I get it so fast, and I'll plug it in, and it works. Mwah. And that's just the Amazon workers. In China, they're fucking jumping off of buildings, killing themselves and each other probably. They're locked in. They can't do shit right now. They're locked up in Hong Kong because of COVID. And they're gonna take over the world. Listen, they're living in 2020 when COVID was a thing. I'm in Texas, baby. 2022. We don't even know what COVID is. We done COVID. I read about COVID in the history books. That's how far past COVID Texas is. We don't give a fuck anymore. Who cares? I just went to a wedding, and everyone there got COVID. Everyone there. Not everyone, but everyone there got COVID. And no one sent out an email. No one sent a text. No one let anybody know. Nothing. I feel like if there was food poisoning, you'd be like, hey, listen, if you got the shits, that was our bad. But COVID, we're done. We're done with it. It was a beautiful wedding. I officiated. It was so dope. I love officiating weddings. I've officiated 2, and I love it and I hate it. I love it because I'm funny and I get to upstage the couple. That's the fun part. Is I get to get up there and it's only been with friends. I don't do it with strangers. I would potentially do it with strangers. I think that'd be a fun business to have. But the thing is, I've done it with friends, so I sort of roast them. I mean, I'm a comedian. I make jokes. So I kind of roast them. I'll be like, hey, whenever they met on Bumble, and fucking he fucked every girl on Bumble, and she was the last one. Like that sort of a thing. In front of friends and family. Grandparents love it. And they're like, ooh, my baby does fuck. And I'm like, yeah, he really does. And so I do it appropriate for the wedding. I always get the most compliments from the old people afterwards. They love... I struck a balance. It was entertaining. It's good. Anyway, so I do that. It's fun to do that. I kind of roast them a little bit. I make fun of them. I bring it together in the end in a very heartwarming way, and it's beautiful. And everyone laughs, cries. They feel the range of emotions that humans can feel, and that's part's fun. The bad part is that you are part of the wedding ceremony, and that is stressful. Like, I feel as much stress as the bride and groom. That it's bad. Like, they're in their separate rooms nervous. And I was with the best man, or I was with the groom. And I went up to him and I was like, dude, I think I'm getting cold feet. I can't do this. This is stressful. Is this speech going to work? Is it too inappropriate for the crowd? There's a real thing. I'm like, is it too inappropriate for the crowd? And it was a white friend. I don't know what these white people are doing. What do they like? I'm a little light-skinned black boy. Black man. Excuse you. I'm a light-skinned black man. What do these white people want to hear me talk shit about their son and grandson? You know what I mean? Their nephew. Their long childhood friend. What do they want from me? They don't know me. They just know him. And I know her. I know her well. I know her okay. And I'm still like, hey, fuck you and fuck you. Boom. But in the end, it's worth it because, you're part of someone's special day. And regardless of whether it's good or bad, whatever I do up there, it's definitely going to be more interesting and entertaining than any priest, any pastor, any of them. What's a Jewish guy? A synagogue? What's his name? What's a rabbi? Any rabbi? Maybe not a rabbi. I bet you they could win. Because rabbis, not to stereotype, but pretty funny. Pretty funny people. I grew up Catholic. Didn't it feel like a confessional turn there? Like, rabbis are good. I grew up Catholic, and here's where I tell you my story. No, I grew up Catholic in a Catholic church, Catholic Boy Scout troop as well. And I remember we went to a Boy Scout camp in New Mexico called Philmont Scout Ranch. And in Boy Scouts, it's the New York of camping grounds in Boy Scouts, which means nothing. But it's a big camping ground, and people from all over the country, all over the world come to camp and to hike through these mountains and whatnot. And I did it one year. And we were a Catholic troop, and Boy Scouts is a very religious organization inherently. Like, it's in the thing to believe in God. And it's like a scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent to God, Jesus God, or Muslim if you're overseas, or any other God, really. It's just about being reverent to something bigger than yourself. And we were a Catholic church, so at Philmont, there's a lot of different churches of different denominations and different faiths, whether it's Christian, Jewish, Muslim, other. And I remember I was with my dad at the time, and I wanted to go to the Mormon one because I was 17, 16 maybe, and I always heard that Mormons are fucking weird. And I had never met any Mormons by that point, and now I'm older and I have met Mormons, and I gotta say, they're pretty fucking weird, but they're also very nice. I mean, they're the nicest. They make you feel bad about yourself. That's how fucking nice they are. They're so kind and generous and giving and fucking weird. and I wanted to go, I wanted to go see them and see their service. Not to do anything mean or make fun of them or anything, just to observe what makes these weirdos so fucking weird. And I remember my dad didn't let me. He was like, "We are a Catholic church. We're a Catholic troop. We go to Catholic mass. That's what we do." I just wanted to slip away, break away from the group, do an hour in the see what the Mormons are doing. And I was arguing. I was like, "Why would you do that, Dad?" I can't. I want to be an older person and be like, my father was just doing what he thought was best. Or like, and we weren't alone. It wasn't just me and my dad. We were like, there was like other Catholic people around. And so it was like, we're all going to do this, Tyler. We need to stay with the group, Tyler. And I was like, but I want to go see the weird Mormons. I hear they wear underwear. That's special. Jesus gave it to them. Or John Smith, whatever that fucking guy's name is. And I argued with him, and then he won because he was my father. And we went to that church. We went to the Catholic church, and it was boring, as always. Oh, man. And I was like, this is fucking stupid. I don't even believe in this. And I told my dad, I was like, we haven't even gone to church in years. And he was like, that doesn't matter, son. We go because these white people want to go. That's the undertone of a lot of them. Now that I'm older, and I'm like, my dad was so like, he was one of these dads who was just like, you do it because you do it. And you have to do it because I said so. And a lot of the I said so is like, because that's what these white people want. That's a lot. That's what these white people want. That's what I did to get here. I'm trying to get you to the next spot. So you going to do what these white people do. And I want to have that perspective now and think of my father in a way where he's like, he's just looking out for us. But man, I'm still a little petty kid on the inside. And I'm like, you should have let me go explore Mormons. But you know what I did eventually? I actually, I went back to that Philmont Scout Ranch a couple of years later to do a different thing where my dad wasn't with me. And it wasn't like a group thing like it was before. They like allowed us, go, because they wasn't all Catholics. It was all different faiths. So they were like, we're having church day. Go to whatever church. It's called Sunday. Go to whatever church you want to go to. And I was like, I'm going to go to the Mormon church. And I go into the Mormon church and I sit down, and it's in a pews just like everyone else. We're sitting there, and again, so fucking nice. These were just the nicest people, and they were up there talking about God. And the difference is when they talked about God, they fucking meant it. They could feel it, and it was real, for real, for real. Like, you could tell that they were feeling something and touched by it. And I'd never felt that way with Catholic shit. Never. And I remember there was a kid that got a kid, like, 16, something like me. I'm cynical now, but I was, a little smart ass kid back then. And he got up there and he was just like, man, I just woke up one morning and I unzipped my tent and I came out and I saw the sky and the sun and the woods, and I heard an owl, and I heard a squirrel, and I just I'm really trying to paint a picture here. And I just thanked God for what he gave me, and he meant it. And I was like, God damn. These Mormons are fucking weird. They're so weird. You smelled the dew and you felt God, you fucking weirdo. That's how I felt, because that's not what Catholics do. Catholics are like, you drink his blood and eat his body, and it's real, and then you go to hell. That's the way we're supposed to do it. And they pass around bread. And I remember this bread. I'm used to the Catholic wafers. The little Catholic wafers, they're very thin. They're not food. They're the body of Christ. And they're barely bread. It's like you put it in and it gets stuck to the roof of your mouth immediately. It just like glues it to your mouth. It's like I don't know, like taking off one of those little sticky things and you fucking put it, I don't know. And it's terrible. And then they had like bread. Like they just had like regular bread. Like it wasn't like a loaf. It was like they had like Olive Garden. They had endless soup and breadsticks, breadsticks and salad. They were like, yeah, you can just have as much as you want. I'm like, this is like the Fishes and Loaves. It's like, no, it's just Olive Garden. When you're here, you're in God's family. And it was like, I ate it, and it was like soft. It was good. It was baked well, I could tell. I'm sure it came from like the local Sam's Club or something, but it was good bread. And then I left, and I never went back to a Mormon church again. Or any church again, because I realized it was all a sham. No. What do I believe now? I don't know. It's hard to say. That's a lot. It's another topic for another podcast, perhaps. I think now I feel that spirituality more, which is good. Maybe seeing that helped me get to there. I feel it now. Not so much here because I'm not in the fucking outdoors. I'm just in like my room. Just in my room. It's nothing special. But I started meditating. Whenever you meditate, you can get into that space where you're like, okay, I see what's going on. I see there's something out here. These leaves. You ever meditate? Hey, you ever meditate or do drugs if you're not fucking lame like me? You ever meditate and then you look at a tree and you touch it and you close your eyes and you say, we're not so different, you and I. Like, that's what that little boy was feeling. That's what that little Mormon boy was feeling. And that's what it seems like Mormons are feeling all the time. Or at least they're showing off. There must have been a time in history when people truly felt that spiritual connection with each other all the time. There must be, right? Because right now, what most people's experience is with religion is some bullshit. Your parents make you go. It's stupid. The teachers try to teach you shit, and the second you get any amount of intellectual ability, when you're like 13 to 16, you're just like, well, if Jesus died for our sins, shouldn't we sin a lot? And then the teachers are just like, get out of here, and like they have nothing to say. It's all bullshit. You realize, but but I believe in the spiritual, that there's a spiritual connection between everyone, or at least something that you can tap into. Whether it's supernatural or not, who knows? But clearly we are humans and we have an ability to have spiritual experiences. So there must be some value to us having them. Whether it's evolutionary, whether it's something bigger than all of us, who knows? And so there must have been a time when people legitimately could like hang out, be together, and really feel soulfully connected to every single person. And we just don't have that anymore. We just don't have that. The closest I get is with comedy. And once I'm done with my stage, I'm like, stay the fuck away from me. Well, I do my stand-up. I tell my jokes. We connect. They get me. I get them. This is at my best. This is not all the time. But I connect with them. And then afterwards, I'm like, all right, good night. If you see me in the lobby, don't say a word, because I don't want to fucking talk. But I'm nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm nice. But on my heart of hearts, I'm a bit of a... I just don't like strangers or new people or new anything. That's why. So I took 8 months off from this goddamn podcast. It was too new. It's too uncomfortable. But I'm back at it. I don't know how often I'm gonna have some guests. I think I'm gonna have some guests, some friends. I think what I want this to be is just something to like talk to people and learn from them. What am I gonna learn? I don't fucking know. But I want to learn things from people. Not any hard skills, but just like, I'm impressed by so many people, and I'm like, how do you do that? What are you doing? How are you like that? That's so interesting. I just want to learn. I want curiosity to be my guide into this podcast. That's what I've been thinking about recently, and I think I'm more prepared than I was 8 months ago to do that. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Well, it's been about 24 minutes, and I'm tired of talking. So I'm out of here. But thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna post this. Hopefully this is easy to edit, and yeah, this felt good. Hope it felt good for you too. I love you so much, dear. You take care. Bye-bye.